Dun dun dun! We're here with the finals of the third European qualifier in the Alienware Awesome Cup 2. Get the hypes! The hype!
The hype train has left the station and has arrived at Sirona for the finals.
Way to kill the buzz, man. Oh, man. Well, before we get into this match, we want to do things a bit differently here, because we are going to announce the Twitter giveaway right now.
That's right, actually we are. So what can they do to win another RoboScoop, Nata?
Well, if you go on Twitter, and you go ahead and you tell us what's your favorite map and why, you tweet it to #AwesomeCup, and you'll be entered to win.
That's right, all you have to do is tweet #AwesomeCup with your favorite map and why it is your favorite map, and you will be entered for the drawing on Twitter. That being said, let's get straight into the finals of the European Qualifier 3 of the Alienware Awesome Cup 2. We're looking at the bans and picks on Sirona for Game 1. We are going to be seeing Boom playing Scoop, Frog, and Vinny. On the other side, we have Gelati playing the same comp as we saw last game. That's Coco, that's Scree, and that Ted. I really want to see this Ted pick up that Tetris Vial again. And
I think it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I'm really hoping for it. It makes me so happy to see that happen. But without further ado, let's get straight into the finals. Nata, give us a countdown.
You got it. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, so we are looking at the early buys, the early pickups. And yes, the Tetris Vial is going to be there. Everyone else opting for base abilities, with the exception of Vinny getting Crabbers instead of Cloud.
The Tetris Vial again, as you said before, we saw last game. We saw what Gelati can do with this comp on this map. I really want to see it do well. And it looks like Edster's going to be taking a lot of damage as Blah looks for the kill. The drop on the totem is going to prevent that Vinny from progressing any further. The Scoop Hammer just hitting Edster. Edster needs to get back and grab some health at this point. He's playing very risky with this amount of health this early on, especially with the 350 dash, that Frog being able to dash, and the Hammer being able to secure the snare. He does pick up that health, though. And it looks like Gelati is going to be taking control of this first section.
Yeah, see, it's a very boomish comp to have the Scoop and the Frog roll together. I really like that. It has a really great potential. And if you add a Vinny in there, you're going to get extra burst plus the Silence Cloud. So, really good comp coming out of Boom side. And we have already seen how Gelati's comp works out. So, if they can get that one-off situation, they'll be able to take down the turrets in no time.
Definitely. We've also seen this comp on Team Boom come out before. We've seen that Frog and Scoop in action together, and it's a lot of damage. And Blah's going to be taking a lot of damage right now. Gelati has to really defend in regards to when that Frog initiates. They know he's going to be the main initiator and need to kind of gauge where he's going to be able to take him out. One thing that is going to combat that is the Ted, and is going to be the slow on Scree's AA that I really hope to see very quickly, because obviously when you're facing a Frog, you want to reduce his mobility, you want to get in there, and a lot of damage. Cool's just going to be going down to the wrath of Boom, as that's going to be the first kill, and Edster is going to be looking for the snipe, getting very aggressive there, but just managing to miss it as TLR and is that Paolo up there? Yes, that is Paolo. And Paolo are going to be body blocking, allowing him to escape. Very good awareness on Team Boom there, being able to sponge some of the damage coming out as Edster hunted him down.
Excellent. Alright, so that Frog already has Hammer Pants, so I think we know where that's going. That's going to be a Scree down in the drain to the Frog's Hammer Pants. Such is life.
And Blah taking a lot of damage. He's going to be forced to get back as Edster with this shotgun. Oh, it's so good to see Tetris Vial. I gotta stop talking about it, though. I can only talk about it so much. It's just such an awesome upgrade to see on Sirona.
Welcome to the finals. We are looking at Tetrisville playing Edster.
Edster playing Ted, rocking Tetrisville.
We're
seeing the 500 dash coming out for the Vinny. He does need to get a few more pieces of solo before he can max that out this early in the game. 10 more pieces of 8 to be no, I'm just kidding. But 10 more pieces of solar, and he'll be able to get that 500 dash. Blau looking to get in there, unfortunately not able, and Kulche is going to be hunting them down now along with Edster and the Wrath of Flush Go-Go, but it seems like Team Boom is able to escape unscathed from that situation. TLR assaulted by the Tedrisville snipe. And the dash coming in, landing that 500. That's a huge 500 dash. That's going to force two members, actually all three members, of Gelati to get back into that upper area, get some health. And it seems like Team Boom is going to take control of this midsection here and get their farm going.
Well, that is important. We are in Serona, don't you forget it. Even though that Tedrisville is being used, you have to get the farm. I mean, I'm gonna try to translate from Tedrisville to everything else in the game, just so you're with me here, Oz.
I'm sorry, all I heard was Tedrisville. So, but we saw it there. You know, one really great thing about Vinny on Serona is that his spike dive can hit through the platforms and the floors. So being able to stay on that bottom lane and hit that top lane from that bottom is a huge advantage to him.
It's going to provide for a great, you know, you can block out a frog. Oh, when Edster gets picked up by the bubbles.
By Bubbles? Was the Powerpuff Girls or something? I don't know, I still remember that show for some odd reason, and a nice kill coming out, picking up Blah. I'm not sure if the ball knocked him into that upper section, but the turret is going to be able to get some extra damage, allowing Scree to pick up Blah. And that is going to be the first kill for Gelati.
You can see the entire team of Gelati picking up regen at an alarming rate, actually. I'm not quite sure what this was all about, but whoa. That is some coordinated regen. That is some coordinated regen purchasing right there.
I think, but honestly, what they need damage. You know, you're in this early stages of the game, getting damage as fast as possible. That's what we've always been taught, and that's what should be happening. So
that's just
regen,
like Mama taught it. I mean, if you get regen early, get one stage, but don't max it out early unless you're fighting a No and a Coco on the same map. Like otherwise, it just doesn't make sense to have so much regen early game.
I can understand it in the aspect of getting it out of the way, getting that 180 purchase out of the way, but it doesn't make sense to get it this early on. So, as you said before, I'm kind of wondering as to what they were thinking when they were picking up the regen. Not in a bad way, just, you know, like...
general curiosity is good.
Exactly. It's just a general curiosity, you know, what they were trying to accomplish with that, and a lot of damage being dealt as Flush Go-Go, excuse me, drops the totem and is able to escape from the crutches of Blah as he gets a lot of damage with that Nado. And Gelati is going to be forced to give up mid at this point due to Flush Go-Go being off map and Blah retakes control.
We're seeing a lot more of Serona-esque gameplay in this match. I think the mid in and outs are a bit more defined here, whereas last match we saw a very fluent in and out of mid, rather than, you know, here you're seeing Boom actually staying fairly close to the mid, actually don't really moving away, only to get forced out, and then Gelati retakes it, stays in there.
We're seeing Gelati retake control of mid right now. You know, one really great thing that we always see on Boom's comp is this insane amount of burst that they have, and you saw right there the double dash coming out from the Vinny and the Frog.
Well, just the insane amount of sync that goes into that. Vinny and Frog were there on point, exact at the same time. I mean, that's how you proper burst.
You know, Paolo actually has his 650 burst at this point. In a little, I would say, a few more minutes on this map, he's going to be having his 700 dive. And actually, he had his 550, excuse me. But in a few seconds, he'll be getting his 700 dash once he gets a little bit more solar. And right there, that is a 700 dash. That's a Frog going in. That's a scoop hammer. That is a kill. There's going to be no escape from that.
I'm already scared, and that's just by listening to it.
And we see Edster taking a lot of damage right now. Edster is going to go down to Blah, and Gelati, Flush Go-Go is going to be picking up Blah at the same time.
That's a nice trade, and actually Blah did not get the solar you get for the kill that is not team-wise. It dropped on the floor.
Kulcha taking a lot of damage right now. Kulcha being very risky. TLR going in for that secure count on the kill, but unfortunately just manages to miss it. The spike dive actually hitting Go-Go up top.
Coco.
Go-Go.
Oh, right. Right.
Go-Go. Flush Go-Go. I'm sorry.
All I heard was Tedrisville. Anyway, I think we're seeing kind of the same styles and the same comp they're going for. They're going for the same build order if we're looking at it right now. The double regions and the airstrike. Oh, blah. Oh no, that's
Polo taking a
Polo.
lot of damage, being hunted down by Flush Gogo at this point, and he's
Can he
going to be
get-
able to.
Oh,
actually
the snipe! Look at that! Oh, that was amazing! That was probably the best Tetris build I have ever seen.
That
Oh my gosh, that was great.
the Tetris snipe killed him. I was so confused. I saw Flush Gogo going for it, and all of a sudden he just disappears, and Ted's kill marker comes up. So
That was so good.
Flush Gogo taking a lot of damage. Edster's going to be forced to go back into that midsection, and Gelati is retaking control of mid. We are rapidly approaching the midsection of this game as Edster interrupts a teleport coming out from TLR. But we are about 40 seconds away from this midsection of the game, and we've seen Tetris Vile do wonders so far. We've seen it be able to pick up that kill on that Vinny, secure that kill, maintain constant pressure, have that damage output, but we've also seen Boom, on the other hand, able to kind of combat that and be able to really focus on getting their burst down and be able to take out a character very quickly.
And it's about keeping people low. That's the whole deal. If you keep people low, then eventually you can do the things with the snipe that actually kills them. But just look what he's doing, just keeping them low. Just making sure that they don't have the HP to go in and feel confident.
And we saw it a few seconds ago, actually, with the Scree and Tetris snipe just really assaulting that frog and keeping him very low. Blah was looking for an opportunity, and he just kept getting poked down by this constant array of slow and this constant array of that Tetris snipe coming out.
Oh yeah, I mean that I would probably say that apart from the double region, I think this is really something that actually has a great amount of potential.
Well, I really want to see this Ted kind of pick up the damage that he's going to need to stay in these fights and brawl, as opposed to just be the poke that he is right now. But he's playing the poke very well, and
It
him
works
along
really
with
well,
Flush
especially
Gogo.
early game. And especially early game, it's really good. But now we are moving away from that stage, so he is going to have to get some more damage if he wants to be able to sustain himself and actually be important enough in the fight.
So we're at the 5-3 kill difference right now. As far as solar difference goes, it's very minimal, if at all. Maybe a 200 solar difference between Ted and the higher members of Team Boom, which is one upgrade at this point in the game. So it's not too monumental. Both teams have kind of retaken control of that midsection when they have to. Edster taking a lot of damage right now. Edster being hunted down by that frog, but Flush Gogo is there for the slows, just really getting that nice CC on Blah, being able to continuously slow him and really take advantage of his the frog's immobility while being slowed.
Yeah, that's you know another thing you want to make sure you keep in mind is when you have the CC in place, you also want to make sure you have the damage in place, because right now there is not an awful lot of damage in terms of Gelati.
There isn't a lot in terms of damage. Actually, I would disagree with you on that one. They do have a lot of damage. It's just not as bursty.
Well, Coco just picked up 3 stages of ball damage, so I'm gonna have to disagree back.
Fair enough. But Scree, you know, I've said this before, Scree is a post-burst character. And that's where he really excels. He excels when people are off cooldowns. His constant AA is one of his major staple folds. His ability to hunt people down while slowing them at the same time is where he really excels. So him being able to survive the burst and hunt people down after that is his major step forward. A huge fight going on right now as Edster is going to get picked up by Blah, but Flush Gogo is going to pick up Paolo on the exchange, and now we see 2 full HP members of Gelati looking for those double kills and triple kills, but unfortunately do not find them as Team Booms retreats and picks up the health up in their creep zones. We're seeing Flush Gogo being attacked by the Frog here. The Frog's going to land his dash, forcing Gogo up top. Gogo, not Coco.
Yes, I got that.
A nice ball coming out, but he's going to get caught out. Kulche is going to get stunned, and that stun on the Frog dash is going to allow the turrets to pick up the kill. Kulche getting a little bit overzealous right there, playing very aggressive, looking for that scoop kill, but in fact gets taken out in return.
Something actually looking for that scoop there. He is building for the snare duration. Currently has plus 40% snare duration, which is going to be quite a lot. He is going to be able to like snare people up a whole bunch actually. That's with the range upgrade. That's going to stack up really well, and they're going to be able to keep people in place for a good amount of time with the stun on dash as well.
It works extremely well. You know, we've seen this upgrade come out for him. Blah's actually going to be hunted down by Flush Gogo, but Paolo dealing a lot of damage on him, and he's going to be dealing a lot of damage back as well as he continues to stay in there. And unfortunately, Flush Gogo is going to have to retreat back at this point, and Gelati is going to lose control of mid. And a huge burst coming out is going to be taking out Coolche and TLR in there for the tanking of the hits. He's going to stay in there and fight it out a little bit more as Edster tries to take control of mid again, but will be forced to go back as Flush Gogo teleports out on bottom, and mid control will be going to Team Boom.
Oh yes, and we're looking at a 1-to-2 ratio in terms of kills overall.
In favor of Boom, yes, that's correct. We're at 8-4 in favor of Boom as we are approaching the 15-minute mark of this game. But I believe mid control has been back and forth for a majority of this game at this point. I believe no team has really held mid for longer than they need to, and they've been very smart with pushing into it.
It has been a lot more fluent, as I've been talking about. If you think about it in how will you say, in the contrary to the previous match we just saw, where it was very it was the other way around. I'm rambling here. I'm very sorry. That airstrike though.
But no, I get what you're saying. Mid control has kind of been shared by both teams at this point, where in the previous BBQ game versus Gelati, we saw BBQ control mid for a majority of the early game, and then Gelati just take control of mid for that mid section and that mid part of the game. But in this game, we're seeing both teams share that mid, and both teams pushing when they have to take control of it. And we can see it right now. You know, Team Boom is progressing in there, but Gelati being very careful around this area. That Silence Cloud on Vinny that I'm just noticing now is going to be working wonders for Team Boom once Blah goes in for those dashes. And a huge hit coming out as Flush Gogo is going to be forced to get away from that area, pick up some health, and return into the fray. Coolche getting hit by a lot of things right now, and let's see if he's going to know he's going to get picked up by Paolo. Paolo picking up the kill on Coolche. Etzer is going to be forced to retreat back into that midsection as Blah is now going to be on the run, and Flush Gogo is going to pick up Blah and drop the totem, and he is going to be able to escape on there. So an excellent play on Flush Gogo, making the best out of a bad situation. He saw that the Coco was taken by the Frog, but noticed that the Frog was very low on health and managed to hunt him down and pick up the kill, securing a 1-for-1.
You can see Blah just hanging on there, waiting for that opportunity to just go in. If that scoop had hit his burst, he was ready to just jump in and get the kill.
But I'm pretty sure we just missed a huge droid push on bottom. That is going to be the first turret down that goes down to the droids of Team Boom.
Ah, Paolo was down there. He was doing the magic. He was waiting down there. Don't you worry. It was Paolo doing he was pulling the strings.
He was pulling the strings of the droids.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened. So it's actually quite common that we see here, like, around in the later parts of the and that's going to be another kill in favor of Boom there. But what we usually see is, like, in the end of the mid game, people start pushing onto Rona, and that's where things usually speed up. So if Gelati if they don't change the tides now, they're gonna have to wait until they're actually in base before the comebacks are going to be and when the map's gonna be on their side again, if you get what I'm saying.
Right. Now, I definitely agree with you in the aspect of that the teams start to push out towards the end of the mid-game, which we are approaching. We're about 2 minutes away from late game at the 20-minute mark, so we're at the 18-minute mark in a few seconds, and we only have one turret down in favor of Team Boom. Both teams playing very smart, though, I do have to say. I do have to commend Flush Gogo for noticing when his team goes down. If he's able to secure a kill after that, he will, and Tetris Foul Snipe has kind of become a little bit obsolete at this point in the game because it's not dealing the damage that it used to. You know, everybody's health is kind of maxed out as far as the base health goes, so pills at this point are only going to increase that. And Kulche taking a lot of damage. Kulche is going to go down to the scoop and Blah, and a huge spike dive is going to be taking down Edster down to just 2 bars. Blah looking to secure the kill. He is going to secure the kill on that, and that is going to be a 2-for-none situation in favor of Team Boom. This should be the top turret right now. They should be pushing this, or they should be looking for a split push as Paolo can kind of get into that bottom section and really clear things up. And
look at the silence cloud. Had Scooping in on that, had Scooping in on that, that would have been a kill. So they need to really push up right now. Paulo just dump that cloud, get the droids to not attack, and then just go to town on that turret.
Definitely. They can absolutely tank this turret at this point in the game, but they decide to back off and play it safe as Flush Gogo and all the members of Team Gelati are back on map. Blah looking to land the dash, just narrowly missing. Paolo kind of getting up there, poking him down. TLR on mid, just getting Flush Gogo down to about 2 bars again as Team Boom has taken control of this midsection. You know, as you said before, teams start to push once we reach that late game, and we can kind of see it right now. You know, both teams are waiting for that kill to come out and make their way into that midsection, control that mid, and progress from there. But at this point in the game, Team Boom is kind of taking control of that mid and have been able to secure themselves a constant push.
Oh yes, and Paulo is picking up range now, so they want to make sure that no one stays near their push now. That's for sure. They want to make sure they get the nice burst in, get in, land that nice damage.
Saw right there, a huge burst coming out. Blah's going to pick up Flush Gogo.
Kulche in a really bad spot there.
Paolo's going to get picked up. The turret is actually going to pick up Paolo from... Wow, he was pretty far up there, I gotta say. But that constant DOT coming out from Kulche, and I believe his ball just managed to miss up there, but the turret did pick him up.
However, the magic of the turret gods works. I think that they wanted it this way.
And now we see TLR and Blah on lane, cleaning up those lanes, getting ready for that push again. And the top turret is going to be down to about a half a bar. Blah's looking to pick it up now. Blah is going to get that top turret and able to escape.
And that's going to open up the map a lot, especially now especially actually they have a good chance of just going full on in to get the last turret. If they stay around too much, Scree is going to be able to upgrade his totem to a point where it's going to be so good at defending that it's going to be a real tough nut to actually crack in and push.
And we really do have to commend Paolo here. He's been able to land a lot of these dashes without taking any damage at all. And that's a huge assault right there on the Scree, and the Ted is going to go down, and we're going to see Kulche retreat back as Team Boom is going to progress into the late stages of this game and continue to push on to that last turret, looking to secure a victory in the first match of the finals.
In the third European qualifier.
And we see it right now. They're looking into that turret. That is going to be a super droid and a decent droid push on that bottom. Kulche can't really do anything against this 3v1 situation. Paolo's going to run in there, drop the cloud, and allow those droids to stop forward movement, secure that silence on that Coco, and that is going to be the second turret that is going to go down, the third, excuse me, and the final turret, and Blah is going to be hunted down by Flush Gogo right now, and is going to get picked up, and there we see it again. You know, Scree is such a post-burst character, and he's able to deal a lot of damage. He should be looking back right now in an attempt to pick up TLR, but is actually going to get picked up by Paolo as Paolo gets
sneaking in, yes.
Goes through the top lane, catches him off guard.
Oh, he's looking for it, and gets it again.
TLR is going to have
cooldown
to
is on 2 seconds, 1 second. Is he going to be able to get it?
He can land it for it. And Kulche is going to be able to get up there with the silver coating, but Paolo's there again!
Cooldown's off, and he's gonna get it! Did he just take out the entire team?
He took out the entire team just with his dive alone. Paolo being very conscious of the map there, noticing the Coco going for that mid bouncer and predicting that Kulche was going to be going into that top section. Excellent map awareness by Paolo and an excellent play on his part.
Yes, I definitely agree. That was just nice. All he did, he just make sure he timed it, didn't go in until his timers were right, and now we're going to see a lot of upgrades coming out of him as he's just spent 700 solar on various upgrades, including the Rocketeer, get the extra size, get the extra duration on the Cloud.
And man, that was just excellent plays coming out on his part. TLR is going to take a ball to the face and be knocked back into health, and Paolo getting into the fray again, dropping that Silence Cloud, being able to thwart off Gelati and push them back even more. Blah taking a lot of damage right now. Blah's going to go down to the wrath of Edster and Kulche, and we're going to see TLR and Paolo back off a little bit, as Kulche is going to be the only one in a very bad situation right now. Kulche playing very aggressive, and unfortunately the rest of his team was not there to back him up in that situation. That was just a bit of a poor choice on his part, but I can understand that he was pushing forward in an attempt to force his team into a fight.
That was, I mean, someone has to do the aggressive work, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it's just not going to work out, and that's going to be another kill for Paolo.
And we see Paolo hunting down Edster again, landing every bubble shot, and this is going to be TLR and Paolo just going into that base right now, an unguarded base. As
I don't think there's much they can do because they're not even down yet. Coco is coming in now. Koje looking to do some magic, but there is a lot of burst hanging around there, and I don't think she actually wants to get in there.
Now that's a lot of burst, that's a lot of damage on base, and I think that that is going to be the conclusion
The first
to game one. That is, in fact, the conclusion to game one as the core continues to explode.
Nice.
Paolo picks up Cool J. But, you know, first game of the European finals in Qualifier 3, we see Boom, we see Gelati, we see that kind of mid-control being shared from both teams until Boom kind of takes control, takes down those first two turrets, and has a continuous lane push coming out. We see the burst. We see the burst coming out on that Frog. We see the burst coming out on that Vinny. That scoop there for those secures, and that immense amount of burst that he has with his bindings in itself. So we just saw a lot of damage coming out from them, and the damage output was clearly in favor of Boom in regards to burst. But I believe that Gelati had a post-burst game. They had that kind of constant assault from that scree. They had that Ted hunting them down with the Tetris file, and they had that Coco there to throw into that mix to secure some of those kills. But Team Boom did manage to take that victory as they played as they always do.
Yeah, it's very, as we were talking about how the late game is decided if you don't really push out back, it's going to be decided until you get to the base area and you have to push out and get the comebacks from there. That was unfortunately not what happened. So they were kind of stuck in the base. Something I do want to point out though is Blah's build and the lack of turbo tape.
Well, I mean, at that point, he was being slowed so much that I think turbo tape would have kind of been nullified. So I think he went with more of the, you know what, fine, I make
More
it
damage.
Exactly. He got those critters. He got the boombox. He was still dealing great amount of damage.
I actually wanted to point out that he actually he did a kind of clunk style play where he took the bouncers up and then he drops down with the tweeters so he can sort of get the burst in from the tweeters and the overall damage on the NATO by taking the bouncer and activated it on the way down, so the NATO sort of goes like a clunk explode. It's a very clever way of playing it.
A lot of damage was hit in that aspect. But we are going to take a quick break, but before we go, if you did miss it before, we are doing a Twitter giveaway. To enter yourself in that Twitter giveaway for the RoboScoop, all you have to do is tweet #AwesomeCup and give us your favorite map and why it's your favorite map. It's as easy as that. You'll be entered in a drawing to win a RoboScoop. That being said, stay tuned. We'll be right back
with the next
finals.
Next game of the finals, yes.
Game 2 of the finals. We'll see you shortly.